Today, I will share 5 small but deadly habits that can quietly destroy love if you ignore them. Now, the issue is sometimes we see these things, but we don't want to pay attention to them, and that is what makes it worse. It's like when you want to make a fence, one brick alone is not enough to block you from going your way, right? But once you leave that one brick and you put another brick on it and you keep piling it up, it becomes a big fence that at the end of the day you will not be able to bypass it. But when it was just a piece of brick, you could easily remove it. But now, when you keep ignoring these things, it becomes a problem, because at the long run, piled up things becomes the big challenge. Forgetting to appreciate your partner, bottling up emotions, replacing presence with screen, with phones, comparing instead of valuing your partner, or avoiding the hard conversations. These are things that really kills relationship. It kills the spark in a promising relationship. So if you don't pay attention to these things earlier on, it is going to eventually kill your relationship, no matter how much you think you and your partner are into each other. And in this video, I am going to be exposing these things and probably giving you how you can go about it. So stay with me to the end of this video. Especially the 5th point is one of the major problems that we are facing in marriages and in relationship today. Most marriages don't fail because they didn't love each other, but these little things that we fail to pay attention to are the things that really kills the marriage. They are the things that really kills the relationship, a very promising relationship that people were envying. Okay, these things can destroy any relationship, no matter how much spark you think you had in your relationship, in your marriage. No matter the stage, it can drop you from level 100 to level 0. You start regretting why you went into the marriage at the first place. You start thinking of alternative, of options to leave your partner. You've forgotten the days of the whole joy and happiness. The essence of this video is to tell you that no matter the stage of your marriage, there are things that if you don't pay attention to earlier on and look for ways to avoid it, it is going to eventually crash that relationship. As you are watching this video, I'm sure there are some of these things already happening in your marriage, in your relationship. So in this video, I will help you to recognize these habits and protect your relationship before it slips away. So now, the first thing I mentioned is what? Forgetting to appreciate. When you forget to appreciate your partner, taking each other for granted is one of the things that you must not do if you want your marriage to remain, if you want to maintain the spark. Appreciate their efforts. Appreciate they do things for you. Don't make it a routine. Don't commonize it that, well, after all, she's my husband. After all, she's my wife. Let them do it. If you don't know how to appreciate, you are learning how to lose that relationship. You notice that at the beginning, every little work, every effort, you learn to say, you are always excited. But at the later on, you notice that things are not too special again. When they text you, it is nothing. When they do things for you, it is nothing. And when appreciation fades, connection fade also, making you two strangers living in the same house. Point number 2, bottling up things. So when I talk about bottling up things, I did an analysis with a drop of water. So I put this cup under my kitchen tap and I adjust it to falling it drop by drop. So I wanted to see how much I can gather by morning. Do you know that when I woke up in the morning, the amount of water I saw there was surprising. As initially, you would think that maybe just one drop of water, it is not enough. But once you keep piling up things, when you keep keeping silence to the things that are bothering you, you keep being silent to the unresolved issues, to the unresolved conversations that you don't want to have, it is going to be like that drop of water that keep dropping every day. And eventually you'll be surprised how much bitterness you have gathered in your system. And a marriage cannot thrive on bitterness. It will not survive it. That is why no matter the level of your relationship, no matter the amount of spark you have, if you keep bottling up things, it is eventually going to crash that marriage. When something bothers you, be able to openly say it. Communicate with your partner. I don't like this thing. And you as a partner, if your partner is discussing things that bothers them, you should have a listening ear. Point number 3, choosing screens over presence. You see that most times you prioritize phones over each other. Phone is a necessity. But if the time you spend scrolling through reels and timelines is more than the time you spend physically with your partner together, then success or the success of that relationship is on a very thin line. You are sitting together, but both of you are scrolling. That is physically close, but emotionally you are miles away. You're always close. Yeah, you're living in the same house. Spend time with your screen, with your phone. But it should not be more than the time you spend with your partner. The thing is, when it comes to relationship, there is nothing more than physical presence. Love needs presence to survive, not proximity. The fact that you two are on the same bed, you two are in the same house, does not mean the relationship is standing. If you are staying together, even if you are sitting on the same couch, you are on the same dining table, and yet it is the phone that is more closer to you than your partner. And that is, love cannot survive that. It doesn't survive on proximity. It survives on presence, and presence must be felt. So some of the things that this generation are missing that will may eventually end most of the spark in relationship, in marriages, is when they choose their phones over their partner. Point number 4, comparing instead of valuing your partner. The moment you start comparing your partner to someone else, you are automatically on the journey of losing that spark in your relationship. Sometimes it is easier to compare. It is easier to just say, can't you see what this lady is doing? Why can't you be like that? Why can't you see what this man is doing? Why can't you be like that? Look at your friends, look at this. But those things are, understand that every human being has its own uniqueness. There are things too that your partner is doing that are so amazing, that are so outstanding, that the person you are comparing him or her to does not have those values. You chose your partner because of who he or she is. So coming into the relationship and start wanting someone else that is not there, it is just going to frustrate that marriage. Okay, marriage is about accepting and choosing each other daily. So yeah, it's okay to aspire to do better, to improve, but you don't make that as a standard. Stop forcing your partner to be someone else. Look at what so and so partner does. Why can't you be more like them? Remember, you are not with that so and so. Understand that everyone is unique in their own way, and that your partner is someone else's prayer point. Comparison kills gratitude, and gratitude is a fuel that love needs to survive. When you start comparing your partner with someone, you are pushing away gratitude. And where there is no gratitude, there is no love. Point number 5, and this is one of the highest killers of relationship that I think happens in marriages, in relationship today. Avoiding the hard conversations. When you start avoiding the tough conversations because you want to keep the peace, like most people will say, you think you are keeping the peace by, I don't want to say it so that there will be no problem. I don't want to. You are not saying it and you are not letting go. What do you think you are doing? That is piling up the bitterness, like I said earlier on. If something is wrong, you should learn to speak up. Stop staying silent when something bothers you. Instead of being honest, you see, you bury the situations, you bury it in, you start piling up the bitterness. Avoiding the hard conversations in the name of keeping peace is not keeping peace. Real peace is not about avoiding those conversations. Although sometimes it will make you feel like you are keeping the peace, but in the reality, you are slowly pulling away from the relationship. At times, these habits forms due to constantly brushing and making your partner feel not heard when he or she tries to express his or her dissatisfaction to you, which will eventually stop them from even trying over time, making them stay in a relationship where they constantly feel unworthy, and nobody wants to stay in such a place. So if your partner tries to talk to you, be open-minded. Don't be a partner who constantly wants to push your partner's ideas aside. What I'm telling you is, no matter the level of your marriage, if you are not careful, if you don't pay attention to these things I've told you, you are eventually going to lose that relationship. Strong couples are not the ones without problems. They are the ones who never stop choosing each other. The mistake most people make is going into marriage without the right maturities. So if you are going into marriage for the wrong reasons, disappointment, my dear, is inevitable. Go to the media, you will see a lot of people complaining about these things. They are already at a stage where they are regretting why they took the step. They are already complaining, what kind of mistake is this? It happens. So if you're already in marriage, and if you feel you are not the type who want to leave the marriage, then there is a way for you to grow the maturity you need for your marriage to start to lit up that spark in your home again. There is no shame about it. There's another video I've made which I expressly explained how you can grow maturity in your marriage. But you need to build this with your partner. Anyway, just check the description. You will see the video on how to grow maturity in your marriage. And if you are yet to get married, also, there is a solution for you. I've taken the time also to explain proven ways to determine whether you are mature for marriage or not before taking the step. You should be able to check yourself to be sure that you are even ready to continue to go on this marriage or not. If you are that kind of person who just want to know it for yourself, or you want to know it for someone else, whether they are mature enough, better, it doesn't have to be man or woman. The video I explained both people. So check this video here and you are going to see that. Okay, please subscribe to this channel if you believe love is worth fighting for, and be part of this community of people who choose love daily. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. See you on the next episode.